Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez have pit Batman against his Failsafe as the robot comes after him and the Bat family, forcing the Dark Knight to dig deep into his mind and unlock something hidden to help win the day. Chip Zdarsky continues the Failsafe storyline with a huge swerve in the storyline that I wasn't expecting, especially this early on in the story. I like that 90% of the issue was just Batman getting the shit kicked out of him and just being thrown around Gotham with no idea of what's going on, and in that chaos he has this revelation of where this robot has come from, and it sends him on this intentional kind of downward spiral. Zdarsky has a fantastic knack for writing characters at their lowest point or taking them to their lowest point so he can build them back up with some fantastic character introspection stuff and development, and here is a little bit different than what he did with his Daredevil run, since Batman has something that Daredevil doesn't, which is another secret identity. This brings us to the big swerve of the issue, and that is at the end it's revealed Batman has gone and tapped into the Batman of ZUR-EN-ARRH, a fractured piece of Bruce's psyche that is more violent and more confident than Bruce is, and is a piece of his character that was actually created by Grant Morrison, so already it's just a bonkers concept. The implication here is that ZUR-EN-ARRH created Failsafe or had a hand in making him to stop Batman should he ever kill or go off the deep end, which is a fantastic and really smart way to have Bruce completely forget about ever making it, since a contingency plan against yourself that you know of is not a good contingency plan against yourself. Zdarsky now has my full attention with the inclusion of this character, and I can't wait to see what he does with him. Jorge Jimenez continues to bat the artwork out of the park, dedicating most of the issue to some really brutal, hard-hitting action that saw the confusion and chaos Batman had to process while trying to combat a killer robot he may or may not have created. I thoroughly enjoyed seeing Jimenez take on the ZUR-EN-ARRH costume, and I love that going forward, the Batsuit he gets to draw will be an all-colourful and loud one, since the man excels at colourful artwork. Just see his Superman work with Tomasi for any evidence of that. Batman issue 126 was a fantastic swerve in the storyline, surprising me at the direction it's going with the deep cut characters it's drawing into the story, making what could have been a run-of-the-mill Batman versus one of his failed creations story a lot more interesting. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Batman issue 126 finds Robin get ready to leave the hospital, with Batman finding him outside. Tim says he's ready to do his job, just like Bruce is doing, but Bruce doesn't think he's ready, knowing he should have assessed the situation at the gala and seen the gunman before turning his back on him. Bruce defends his choices since he was saving people, wondering if getting shot reminded him of Jason or Alfred. He knows that Bruce is mad at something else, and he's not in charge of him since he doesn't wear a bat. As Robin takes off, Bruce knows that he doesn't dream anymore, unlike the rest of his family. Bruce heads back to the garage, looking over the news reporting on Penguin's death and how, thanks to it, a void has been created in the underworld and every thug is out to rise up and take Penguin's position, meaning Batman has more enemies. Suddenly, Failsafe attacks Bruce, grabbing him and tossing him around the garage. Bruce wills himself to get up and attack, but Failsafe blocks his blows, shocking the hero as it beats him down again. Bruce knows that he's dead if he sticks around, ordering his car to exit. The Batmobile speeds off through the tunnels as Bruce fires his grapple into its back bumper, road hauling himself to get away from the robot. He throws some explosive batarangs back at Failsafe, buying himself some time as the car speeds out into Gotham streets, causing Bruce to tumble across the road. He quickly puts on his cowl, hearing Oracle say his vitals are spiking. Batman tells her about the robotic enemy, with Barb tracking him on the satellite to try and scan the robot. Batman keeps it busy, attacking it with explosives as Barbara tells him she can't penetrate it with her scans. However, she can tell that a mesotech is being used inside of it. Failsafe smashes Bruce into a lamppost, prompting Batman to try and get away again. Failsafe, however, grabs him, slamming him hard into the asphalt before punching him in the face as Bruce asks what the robot is. Through its mechanical clicks, the robot says that it's Justice and it is Failsafe. The signal appears, kicking the robot away as the Batgirls soon appear as well, battling the robot as well, but it also proves too difficult for Cass and Steph. Batman knows they don't stand a chance as it disposes of them, but he knows they're both still alive as Signal continues to beat the robot down, telling Batman to get out of there. Robin arrives in the Batmobile, loading Batman up into it and telling him they're going to see Leslie Tompkins, who set up medical treatment in the cave. Failsafe hears them as Bruce says that he knows the robot's name is very familiar to him. Tim knows that Bruce has a concussion, speeding off through the streets as Failsafe gives chase. Nightwing soon arrives, apologizing since Bloodhaven traffic was killer. He rides his motorbike up the front of the Batmobile, using it as a ramp before flipping off the bike and letting it crash into Failsafe in a fiery explosion. The robot isn't fazed by the fire, confronting what it now calls the Little Soldiers and telling the Bat family that everything is now tainted. Nightwing tries to contact Oracle, but its communications are blocked by the robot, who soon takes flight into the sky. Dick thinks they are out of their league, asking if Oracle can hear him and if she's got a read on where the robot is going, but suddenly Failsafe comes back, slamming into the ground and blowing the heroes away as it quickly puts them down before Nightwing can regroup them. Failsafe rips Duke's helmet off, telling them he can't be stopped and they should not attempt to. It beats Nightwing down, knowing they are nothing, and they hide in their new caves, which thanks to taking Duke's computerized cowl, he now has access to them all. Leslie meanwhile rushes to set up a triage for Batman as Failsafe appears, knowing that the woman thinks she can help, but she cannot since it is the end of Batman. The robot demands to know where Batman is as Tim takes Bruce back to the old Batcave under Wayne Manor, telling him that they need to get help. Bruce tells him that he needs to be there and he knows what he has to do alone. Bruce heads off alone into a darker corner of the cave, knowing none of his family would understand the lengths he has gone to. As he strips out of his costume and comes to a chest, Bruce finds that he has softened himself and in his early days he went too far. He thinks about how Failsafe is familiar, but that doesn't mean the same thing to him when you have a mind that remembers everything. He finds it an aberration in his mind and there is a ticking clock deep inside his head. Tim meanwhile contacts Oracle as Bruce emerges from the dark. He knows only one man could have done this to him, his Failsafe for a Failsafe, and he needs him to answer to this, so this man will now take over. Tim asks Bruce what he's doing as the Batman of ZUR-EN-ARRH appears, assuring Robin that he is the Batman.